it's PegandDes on
Mistresses.
So, Savvy, my poor Savvy, she's the only character I even really care about on this show, and she's in trouble. She has just broken poor Harry's heart, and
she needs to call Maury Povich. Savvy, when Savvy broke the news to Harry that was not, that the child could possibly not be his, this old 1990s ratchet rap song just started running through my mind. And the song, I'll never forget, I was in 2nd grade. It was like, who that is? That's just my baby daddy. Who that is? That's just my baby daddy. And that is immediately what I thought about. And I wish that ABC had put that on the track.
Well, I mean, first of all, I had butterflies in my stomach. She told him everything, and I couldn't imagine it. I'm like, maybe you should space it out. Like, hit him with the cheating. And
no.
I don't know, how do you, I mean.
No, you gotta hit them all with that heat at once. You can't keep coming back to repeat heat. You can't.
Like a Band-Aid ripping off slightly.
Right, you can't do repeat heat. Hey, babe, I cheated. Hey, babe, I'm pregnant. Hey, babe, it ain't yours. Like, and then here's the other thing, too. Savvy is a perfect example of why it's important to cheat with people who are within a specific race of the person you chose.
Yes!
Because she presumably could have passed that baby off if she'd gone with a nice white man, but then she went out, she got that black man, and he's very attractive, but now they're going to have mulatto children, and she's not going to be able to pass that off.
Now, for folks that watch the British version of Mistresses, you know that in that version, Savvy was white, her husband was Indian, and the guy she cheated with was white. So she could have passed that baby off as Harry's, because if baby comes out white, oh well, mom's white. But Savvy, it's going to be very obvious who the father of that baby is. So I guess she had to come clean. She had to tell Harry.
Wait, you don't think in the instance of the Indian show, or with the Indian father and the white mother, that you wouldn't have been able to tell there either?
Yeah, because a lot of, mixed race children don't really look that mixed race, especially in Indian. Like, the guy was like kind of on a light side himself.
Oh, so like a fair skinned Indian person.
I see. Fair skinned Indian guy. So she could have passed that baby off. I won't tell you guys what happens on the UK version. We don't know if the US version will follow. But I will say, I really didn't care for the Harry on the UK version. But this Harry on the US version, I'm in love with this dude. So I don't want him to go anywhere. I did love that smackdown that he did of that girl at his restaurant.
Oh, the hostess with the jugs.
She was all like, you don't need to sit
I had
on the
not
couch.
seen that level of thirst at a hostess stand since I tried to get into a restaurant that I didn't have reservations at. I mean, the lady was talking about, are you feeling okay? Do me a favor. Don't sleep on the couch. Sleep at my crib.
Yes.
I said, wow, man.
Yes.
Wow.
She was putting it out there literally and figuratively.
Yes.
And Harry was like,
she was mailing that vagina priority.
Married. So, but you know what I've always thought about Harry? I feel like his chemistry's been with Joss. You know when they have those morning chats?
Yes.
And there's always a little undercurrent there.
Yes.
So I feel like if the show
I can't say yes enough.
If the show wanted to be kind of unique and different from the UK version, those two actors have chemistry. I say he hooks up with Joss. Although obviously that would destroy Savvy, but then again, Savvy's destroyed him by sleeping with Dominic.
But hold on. I was actually rocking on Savvy's team in spite of the cheating up until the end of the most recent episode, right? So, her whole thing was, she and her husband can have a baby, and, she stepped out on the marriage. I'm not really a big fan of Harry. I don't root for him. I'm not engaged with him, so I didn't care that she cheated. However, when she got to the end of the last episode and she told her sister that I'm not like you, this is what you do, I thought her sister should have laid hands on a pregnant woman, because her sister is not married. FYI, Savvy. Her sister may have sex with married men, but her sister is committed to no one in this world. She took no one's vows. She's not obligated to anybody. So for you to stand in that girl's face and try to turn her into some scarlet A when you have a black baby in your white belly, ma'am, you best check yourself. And I just couldn't deal with her in that moment. In that moment, that's when I stopped being a fan of Savvy.
Well, see, maybe this is the setup, and to break up their relationship, so that Joss and Harry can
I would love it.
up.
I would love it.
I see it.
Love it.
Make it happen, mistresses. Make it happen. So let's move on to boring old Karen. Oh,
I'm about to take a nap. Give me a second. I can't. I'm
her
rolling my
storyline
eyes.
is incredibly boring, and it kills me because, again, I can't help but compare it to the UK version. In the UK version, Karen was the best character on the show. Her storyline was amazing. She also had a dead patient whose son she has an affair with, but the son was hot. This kid they've got her like hooking up with
looks like believable.
He just graduated from high school.
It's not even remotely believable. Number one, his serial killer tendencies make him very unattractive, and I am so tired of her documentary voice that she's using for all of her dialogue. Sam, why are you so upset? Did you speak to your mother, Sam?
Yeah, well,
I can't take her.
I need her storyline to speed along. Whatever's happening with insurance.
I want Gary Duday to come and arrest her behind and just move on with their lives.
Did you see the preview for next week? Looks like he's makes a move. We'll see what happens.
I like how the lady ran off to Italy and the dead husband's wife, or excuse me, yes, the dead husband's wife ran off to Italy with no trace nor sound.
I didn't really understand what was happening there.
I don't either, because she doesn't seem like she got the money.
Right.
For the insurance.
So she says, something shady's going on there. Maybe please move that story along. I don't know. I can't take it anymore. All right, let's move on to April. Now, April's storyline, it's semi-interesting. I mean, this show has some work to do. I will say that I'm glad she and Richard are hooking up.
Okay.
And, I feel for her with her dead husband's mistress. Because her dead husband's mistress is really on my nerves. She's going to have the nerve to roll up and say, your payment plan? That's not going to work for me. Well, guess what, bitch? I don't have the money to pay you.
So there were a couple things with April's storyline that just confused me outright. One is, why did April not follow Savvy's very good and savvy advice to have a paternity test done on the child? So it seems like she's writing checks without having done any due diligence. And your friend who's an attorney has already advised you of that very basic common sense fact. So that's number one. I really don't feel sorry for April because I feel like she's navigating this whole situation like a big donkey.
Well, don't forget that she called a car dealership and found out that her husband indeed had bought a car for this girl.
That doesn't mean that baby is his. That lady could have been running through all kinds of black penis wherever she lives. That does not mean anything. So why would you not get a paternity test on the child? And then, if you thought that the child was really your husband's, you got the nerve to write me a $100 check?
I don't
want your $100 payment plan, ma'am. That's not going to get us on the bus back home. I can't rock with April. And then when the lady came to her house, and she allowed her to come inside and be all up in the foyer and then in the dining room, and the woman was walking through the house, I said, why is she even navigating this situation like this? Why is this lady even in your house?
She's behaving a little bit too nicely to this lady. If I were her, I would have said, go ahead, sue me. Sue me.
Let's go to court.
Let's go to court.
Let's rock out. Let's get some blood tests done.
Again, we see in the previews, and in some previews, there seems to be a new development that's going to add, I think, a lot of context to what's happening in this story as well.
Right, and don't forget, we saw the part where her dead husband's baby mama is talking to an actor who she presented as an attorney. So don't forget that. So the audience is already clued in that something's shady with this mama. Yes.
And we'll see April maybe get clued in herself next week.
I just hope she gets a little bit more intelligent about this.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. These girls on the show are not the smartest. Let's talk about Joss. So Joss, I like her. Obviously, we already talked about the fact that we want her to hook up with Harry.
Yes.
She has chemistry really with everybody she meets. I mean, to be honest, like, she has chemistry with the lesbian chick.
That's that good slutty chemistry.
She just knows how to hit it off with the hey, how you
with
doing?
everybody except her new French boss, who I do believe wants her in a bad way.
I think there is chemistry there.
I think he wants her so badly. Well, she doesn't.
Obviously.
She doesn't feel the chemistry because he's not responding in the way men typically respond.
Right.
But I feel like that man would be very happy to turn her over one of those tables.
I absolutely agree. And you know, she's doing all those little things, like she put a bunch of bananas in his in his closet. So I mean, I'm waiting for them to hook up. I hope I never see the lesbian chick again. I'm really not that interested in that storyline.
They picked the dullest lesbian I have ever seen in my whole life. I was like, please, this Birkenstock lesbian, go sit down.
She definitely looks like she should be in a relationship and shopping for dishes. And should not be hooking up.
She's a Bed Bath and Beyond lesbian.
She absolutely. That is perfect description for her. All right, so that's our show on Mistresses. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter at PegandDes.
And don't forget to catch our videos on Love and Hip Hop this week, as well as on Princesses Long Island.
All right, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.